Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maximo and I'm here checking out Shinobido 2, Revenge of Zen. I believe this was also called Legend of Zen in Europe and Shinobido 2 Sange in Japan. So this game's got a lot of names, so if you're looking for it, those are the names to look for it under. Here's the thing though, let's not let that start up again. So, here's the thing, unfortunately this game's actually being delisted from the PlayStation Store. It's gone. It's been gone for a couple of weeks now. Or a few weeks now, actually. More like 3 or 4. I can't remember off the top of my head specifically, but it's gone. It's been gone for a while. The only place you can get it on PlayStation Network is on the Japanese store, because it's hosted by Spike and Acquire. Here, it was done by Namco Bandai America, and they do not seem to have gotten the license back for it. So the chances are, unless they decide to pay for the fees again, which I really hope they do, because this game's actually great. Unless they decide to pay for the fees again, or get the licenses back, they probably won't be able to put it back up on the PlayStation Network. So your best shot is to go and look at a place like Amazon, PlayAsia. I know PlayAsia have a few copies left. And pick up a physical copy there. And also you can't get the DLC anymore, like no matter what. But the DLC isn't really that vital to the enjoyment of the game. So, these are some of my save games. Last time I played this was... No way. That can't be right. Like I've played this game a lot more not a lot less frequently. The last time I played this definitely wasn't 2013. I'll put it that way. But yeah, I just picked it up again and I played off an older save file that I had. I think it was in 2015, like mid 2015. But you know how it is with memory card space. This game's a gigabyte, and there are a lot more things I can put in a gigabyte than this. And I have actually finished this in the past before. I always hit the wrong button, because this has got X and 0, and then when the Vita thing comes up, it reverses the buttons, so I have to remember. But anyway, we're going to load up my game. Now, there are 3 difficulties in this game. There's easy, normal, and hard. Hard is probably the best one to play it on, purely because if you play on hard, you can't repeat missions. And it also has the most consequences for screwing up in combat and stuff like that, so... It's probably the best way to play the game, honestly. I played it on normal originally, and I found it to be way too easy. It was really easy to break, even when I wasn't even trying to. So, yeah, it's probably well worth the effort. There is rear touchpad control, but I fucking hate it, so we're turning that off. You got subtitles, camera control, bloodshed, and the 2 obvious audio sliders. Not that big of a deal. So the way this game works is that, in between days... You will go back to your, I guess this is basically, it's a village, so we'll call it a base. You go back to your base and you can go to your tool shelf. Now your tool shelf is where you can equip specific things, so I've got a few things here. You've got spheres, which basically serve as grenades. You've got elixirs, which are potions. So say if I drunk this speed elixir, it would make me faster. If I drunk this strength elixir, it would make me stronger, obviously. And recovery elixir is just, health potion, right? So we can put one of those in there. And there's also, what was the other thing? Yeah, you got sushi, which is more like traps for people. So, yeah, if you put that down on the ground, enemies will walk over it, eat it and all that. Energizers and stuff, which give me more Zankoku gauge. I'll show that off. And you've got crafting materials, and you have to go find these out in the world. They're very expensive to buy, so it's not worth actually trying to buy them. You've also got all sorts of different ninja tools. Over here, you've also got jars, and you've got your crafting recipes. Now, the crafting recipes are actually very useful. They tell you what to do in order to blend a specific thing. Well, how do we craft that stuff, you say? Through the methods of alchemy. Now, alchemy takes place inside several jars. These jars can have a specific amount of components, individual components, that is, and you can also have a specific amount of ingredients in the jar. So, if we go to blend, I need to actually try and remember what one of the recipes were, just for the purpose of demonstration, but, let's see. Salmon, set the expansion to 4 and any other to 5. Alright, that'll do. So, if we go to blend, we can blend all this stuff into the jar. So, every jar has a specific amount of room for components. So if I put in an expansion weed, I now can't do anything with this jar except with expansion or, say, another component without emptying the jar and mixing it out, unfortunately. But if I bugging me. I forgot. I forgot the bloody recipe. I'm terrible at this. 5. Right, so... I've already put 1 ingredient into the Raven jar. So I've got 4 expansion. Now I need to put 5 of something else in. So we'll say 5 explosive mushroom. But for the purpose of demonstration... Well, not for demonstration, but I'll just show you this. But at any time, you can extract anything that you've got in the jar already into a smoke grenade, a flask, or a sushi. So... If you want just a really weak, like, explosive grenade, you could just toss, like, a 5 explosion in there, and then extract it into a sphere. But the more components you put into the jar, the more you'll be able to get out of it. So if I put, like, a ton of strength weed or expansion weed into here, so I just had a ton of ingredients filling up the jar, I could extract a ton of things. So if I put, like, say, all my recovery weed, my super recovery weed, actually, I'll demonstrate this in another jar. So if I put this all in here, now that I've got 10 components in that jar, I can extract these into flasks. And I can extract as many as I've got in the jar. So if I extract all of them, I now have 10 Black Hawk jar flasks. And you can also rename these jars so that they have different component names. So if you want to have one just for doing healing potions and all that, that's how that works. You can also dilute components to add water to give them more, but, you know, make them less effective. Or you can boil to have specific effects on the thing. But you can also blend other special items with this. So if I put the explosive mushroom in here, it'll tell me that something's happening inside the jar, and I can extract the special item, which is a salmon, which actually serves as bait for bears, which is kind of great. So that's how the alchemy works. You use it to make yourself special ninja tools. What sort of ninja tools do we have to work with? Well, we've got shurikens, we've got Goshimakai, which is that Goshikimai? Okay, that's the way. You've got landmines, you've got invisible landmines, you've got lures. I'm gonna buy one of these, actually. I'll buy a remote control one. And I'll buy a Nimpo, because why not, right? This is just for demonstration. You can also come here to buy different kinds of medicine, although most of these aren't actually really expensive, but at the same time, when you're doing missions, you're not going to have that much time to, what's the word? You're not going to have that much time to actually go around scavenging that many resources, so the more you get on missions, the better. And you can also come here to buy more jars. So this jar here, 5 components and a capacity of 100. That's a very useful jar, and you should buy the biggest jars you can immediately, like the Nightshade jar is very useful, and also the Paulonia jar. And we've also got an Owl Charm, but that's a different skill that I haven't unlocked in this part of the game yet. You unlock a lot of different skills in this game, so you've got all sorts of tutorials, and you can also unlock things like a glider, and you've got a bunch of different new combat moves and stuff. There's a ton of stuff you get in this game eventually, and it makes the controls a little bit unwieldy, I have to say. There's also the network jar, but it uses Nier, so fuck that. Now, we've gone through the tool shelf, and I'm going to have to manage my tools because I forgot to put all the stuff I just bought there. But I do have explosive fish, so I'm going to actually take that with me because that sounds amazing. But anyway, if I just put all that in there, we can demonstrate how those work. The game's actually got a really complex control system, and I'm still learning stuff about it. But anyway, you can check your ratings for past missions, which is kind of nice. You've got today's events, which is just lets you check on what's happened in between days. You also have stats, so these are all pretty obvious. You get more range on your grappling hook, more Zankoku meter, and just increases in your stats. And the better you do in missions, the more points you get. Now, this is where the game gets really interesting. You've got a ton of interesting things to work with here. So, here's the drill. Every character, these 3 major ninja leaders, have both got attack forces, their food stores, and your reputation with them. The higher reputation you have, the more likely you are to get special rewards from them, like massively powerful grenades, and flasks that do amazing things, and other sorts of really cool resources. And even then you can sell them off for a fair profit. You've also got skill books and blueprints. Skill books teach the basic ninjas new moves that make them more dangerous. Blueprints introduce new troops entirely, and they can get really dangerous. We're talking about things like bowmen that can see and hit you from a distance, all the way up to really armored people that take massive amounts of hits to kill, and either use traps to get a massive advantage or fucking ignore them, because they're damn impossible to defeat head to head. And the most interesting thing about this is that you can actually actively influence all of this. So the idea is that if you lower the amount of food that they have, they'll get desperate, their troops will get worse. If you lower the amount of troopers and military forces they have, you actually get the opportunity to assassinate these people. Also of note, characters can also move things like skill books and blueprints as parts of missions. And they'll be guarded by like 6 people. But if you can take the skill book and get it to the exit, they won't get that skill book or that blueprint. So you can actually stop them from getting new troops for a few days. Even with that, say the guy you prefer is behind. So say if Kazama had nothing and Ichijo was about to get his bow troops, I could steal those blueprints, actively choose not to give it back to the questmaster, and send it to Kazama, and he would get the bow troops. I know this sounds like a really simple thing, but I have to say, the amount you can get engaged with this game is incredible. It's just, I mean, it's very simple, and I know I'm basically fanboying over something very simple, but you really get into it if you let it just sink in how much effect you have on this. You've also got letters, and these letters will often give you hints, and they'll often give you items. So you can end up giving items, and you've got advice here as well. And you can even send things like gifts to other members. So it's quite lovely because I sent these 2 relatively nice books. I sent this guy How to Write Properly. That was the name of the book. Yeah, he thinks I'm a little bit mentally retarded. That's not great. There is also a story. So as you can see, defeat the evil merchant with the mirror. These often end up in things like boss fights where you have to try and recover what are known as the Tengu mirrors, which is what your father was guarding before he got killed, and I was just kicking off the plot. But frankly, I don't give a shit about the story. I'm here with a fucking Ninja Clan interaction, because it's goddamn amazing. But anyway. So, we've got a bunch of missions we can take here. We've got obliteration, we've got kidnapping, we've got assassination. Well, I think the first one I'm going to do is I'm going to do this one in the Iniki Forest, because it looks like the easiest one to do. And as you can see here, not only will we please Ichijo, we'll get some improvement in morale with him, because we lost some recently, but we will also take out some of Kihan's military, and her military is actually quite weak at the moment, so if we got that low enough, she'd probably end up being the first to be assassinated, either by me or by someone else, because last time I played, I went with Kazama, because Kazama is just awesome, and he ended up being just the massive ruler of all the ninja clans, because I managed to kill off the other 2. But anyway, here we are in-game. Missions are procedurally generated, except for the story ones, obviously, so yeah.
There's a cold wind blowing.
So here we are in a forest. The game's control scheme is clunky isn't the word to describe it, but at the same time, it's really clunky. Like, so we move around with the left analog stick. Yeah, and as you can see, the movement isn't particularly fantastic. We can jump with the X button, we can dash with the circle button, and we can jump with the X button. We can use the square button to attack, and we've got a bunch of different attacks. But not many. I don't want to go flying off that ledge. We've also got triangle, which we can use to either activate Zankoku, which I can't at the moment because there's no one here. You can also use it to pick up and throw things. And there is also grab moves that you can do. So, I think I might try and demonstrate one of those special moves. Excuse me. We've also, the down key is our grappling hook, but unfortunately I won't be able to show that. I'll have to wait for this ninja to come down. Or stop being as alert as he is. Where is he? I can... Oh dear, I believe I've caught the attention of them. Oh dear. Alright, combat time. So, L button is your lock-on button, and these little eyes on the side of the screen, not only do these... Yeah, I love this because you can trick them into attacking their own guys. It's kind of... Oh, God. It's kind of great, but also kind of annoying. But yeah, all these things on the side here are... Shit! Boom. So, all of these things on the side here are different soldiers. Damn it. That wasn't going to end very well for me. We'll try another mission, but, you know, if that's how the first one went... If that's how the first one went, then this probably isn't going to go well for me. So yeah, I actually got seen by those guys, and they got to run away successfully. So it actually takes away some of my stuff. Anyway, attack the provisions. Why not? Steal a rice bale and escape. Alright, we'll do that. So, the game's combat system is kind of clunky. Like, you are at an active disadvantage pretty much all the time, especially if you get surrounded. If you get surrounded, you're pretty much done for. Alright, so there's the hay bale. So away we go. But yeah, those eyes are how you see things. If you get close enough to an enemy, you'll be able to actually directly look at them and see what they are just by tapping on them. It's actually a really interesting system. You also have the Grapple Hook, which lets you do that, and also you can also increase the range of the grappling hook. It's very useful. Alright. Uh-oh, I've been seen. I gotta back away. I gotta try and get as far away as I can very quickly. Not gonna happen, unfortunately, but oh well. I do have a counter move that I can do. I just need to wait for him to attack me. Except I accidentally grabbed. But yeah, the game actually has a lot of maneuverability, I think the word I'm looking for is. Because you can move around very quickly, and that's kind of your one advantage against everything. You are very fast, and you are more than capable of doing interesting stuff. I'm trying to get a counter in, but it just won't let me for some reason. I think I might have to be on flat ground. Come get me. You also have to time it right. Except I did not time that right. Also, oh, damn it! Game's physics are ridiculous, but yeah. You are at a disadvantage, and your main ability to... God damn it. Your main method of trying to get around is being very quick about it. We can try and rescue a princess, but this really isn't going to work very well for me, is it? Because I can't beat anything at the moment. But yeah, your main advantage is being able to move around real quick, and eventually you do get something like a hang glider.
What are you doing?
Yep, we got a princess. So you do have a bunch of things you can do to move around and keep yourself safe, and of course you got all these traps, like you saw the ninja scroll in the first mission that I tried to do. This game is very buggy. You also saw the, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't remember. God, I'm such an idiot sometimes, I'm sorry. But anyway. The game does have a stealth system, and you can actually, like, get out of their sight and have them lose you and stuff. It's very interesting. But anyway. Let's do something a little more interesting than that. You do also have instant kill attacks! And there's a resource I can get. If I jump... Bang. Now, where's the last guy? There he is. If I jump, bang! So, we've taken these guys out, and we... Not only can I pick up his body and throw him, bye, I can actually... Well, at least I should be able to. One of these should have dropped something. I can pick up things like... Oh, usually they drop their bows. I don't know why they don't drop their bows this time. But you can actually do stuff like pick up their bows and throw them to distract other enemies. And you can also take their swords and use a double sword style, which actually makes you more powerful in combat.
I'm over here. Hurry it up.
Now shut up. You've also got, as I said, plenty of items to use, like the bloody caltrops and the ow. You've got items to use like caltrops and this remote control lore, which I could use, but...
I'm over here. Hurry it up.
Can I... How do I open this door? There we go. Alright. Oh, can I grab her? Yes, right. Now we just have to head for the exit, which is, thankfully enough, right there. Yeah, I actually did a mission properly. So you have lots of stuff to work with. Again, though, the main problem is that the game is really, really janky. Sometimes the physics just don't work the way you expect them to. Sometimes you just get screwed because you end up tripping over like 3 bodies and you end up doing really silly stuff. I just got a special reward and I got to level up, so I'll increase my defense, because why not? It's weird, they give you stamina and defense. Like, why don't they just spread it to defense? But yeah, unfortunately, Kihan now has another skill book, but her... Yeah, they've now got new skills. So, we've got lots of different kinds of missions to do. And it's just interesting how all these guys try to talk to you and do stuff. And you can even, see, you even get all sorts of different kinds of missions. It's really great. They give you more and more missions as time goes on, and there's a ton of stuff to do. Like, it's across the same few maps, right, admittedly, and it's on the same kind of, it's the same kind of missions, but at the same time, that's just generally what these sorts of games tend to do. I'm not sure I want to piss off Kazuma too much, so... We could protect the Samurai General Zox car, and they'll give me a ton of money, but it's for her, and this lady's a bitch, so I don't like doing that. Do I want to... Silent Judgment, wipe out the Ichijo Force. Alright, I'll do it for that. Why not? So having all these different tools to use, and being able to just, like, basically be a ninja, like... You feel like you're a ninja going up against impossible odds in the process of playing Shinobido 2. Which is really impressive. They've made a really good ninja game here. It's just clunky as fuck. That's basically the one big problem with it. It's clunky as fuck, and it's also quite hard. But being hard isn't actually that big of a deal, because even on hard mode, you can save after every single mission. So... You more than have the ability to, what's the word I'm looking for? Oops. You have the ability to, save scum if you really need to, which is nice. I got a strength elixir. Yeah, the guy I just alerted is there. See, this ability is really useful too, and the stealth system does work as you would expect it to. It is entirely possible to have them walk right past you in a really tense moment, and then be like, just come up behind them and stab them in the back and be like, here's Johnny! Even though that's completely the wrong reference to make. Alright, come here. Come on. Let's do this. Ow. I'm trying to show off a counter, but I can't get the timing right when I'm thinking about what I'm trying to say next.
Let's do this.
But anyway, let's try and do a Zenkoku. Oh, I can't do that, I guess. You're not screwed. I'm just gonna hit you. I mean, this guy's got his sword out, so I should be able to... There we go. That's an awesome counter. But yeah, now I've got dual swords. Which is awesome. It would be nice to be able to start missions with dual swords, because they're very useful, but... what am I gonna do? Alright, let's see. Hi. Ow! Oh dear. Oh, whoops! Bet you didn't mean to do that, mate. Remember what I said about it being janky as fuck? It's still actually quite fun to play these fights, though, especially since you've got all these guys... Oh, shit. You've got all these guys around you. And you're just trying to avoid getting killed by them. Oh, God. Ow. I don't even know what killed me there. That wasn't great. But But yeah, generally the idea in this game is avoid combat. You probably will die. Had a feeling my phone would be ringing at some point. I'll be right back. For some reason I never understand, telemarketers love this house. Anyway. So, I know I'm playing on hard and I'm doing a very bad job at demonstrating what this game is like. But, I hope you're getting an idea of what it's like, because it's honestly just playing the game for the sort of like ninja clan fights that are going on. I just really enjoy it. Like, it is a lot of fun for me to hop into this game and play just some ridiculously fun ninja politics, I think the word I'm looking for is. So, there's just a ton of stuff to do, playing around with all the different kinds of missions and political moves you can make, and I'm gonna try and smash the Ox, because why not, right? I've got a bunch of grenades, and I've got lots of healing potions, and time. I've got lots of time, so... yeah, it is a really interesting game. Because you have lots of ways to get what you want to get done. You have lots of ways to earn new materials, and... oh dear. You do die from fall damage in this game, so I'm very lucky. And you have all sorts of cool little things to do. Okay. Fucking ninjas, really? Alright. Here they all come. Unfortunately, it's not that easy to get an assassination, but... whoops. Where's the cart? I need to get to the cart. Where's the cart? There's just so many different ways to get cool shit done in this game that I can't help but love it. Even if it's the jankiest game that I have played in a really long time, it is still a ton of fun. We'll do one more mission and I'll try and get something done.
Don't mess with me.
As you can see, I'm royally fucking this up, so I'm probably not going to play on the save game again, but it doesn't really matter. We can transport the safe, or we can steal something. Yeah, we can steal something. But let's see if I have any interesting tools to do it with. So, despite the fact that I've done an absolutely terrible job at showing off Shinobido 2, Revenge of Zen, it is a really good game if you feel like you want to be a ninja with the entire world against him. Playing ninja politics is so much more interesting and more impressive than I would have expected it to be, that I can't help but love it. It's so janky too, which just adds to its charm. So yeah, I love the shit out of this game, and I really hope that despite the fact that I suck at it, Namco Bandai will put the game back up on the PlayStation Store, hopefully for a cheaper price. Like, $20 for this game is perfect, in my opinion. $20 is absolutely perfect. So, if they put it up for that, it would be an instant recommend to anyone who has a Vita, in my opinion. Just because the whole being a ninja side of things just works so well, even if it's one of the jankiest games I've ever played. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say on that. This game was made by Acquire, and they made, Acquire were originally the people who made the Tenchu games. Like, I always hear about Tenchu 2 on the PlayStation 1 being one of the best ninja games that there is. This game, well, honestly, I've never played Tenchu 2, but this game is probably one of the, oh god. This game is probably one of the best ninja games that I have pretty much ever played. I've played a fair few ninja games, and this just has all that interesting politics going on with it. And there's someone in there, they're gonna come out that door. So what I want to do is I want to try and hide. Now, this is where the remote control chick comes into play. Or not. Let's try this again. Okay, we've got that. Is there anyone else in there? Apparently not. There is an explosive chick, though. That may be very useful in the future. Also, there's money, because we love money. But anyway, now that I've got this, I can make my way out of here. It is entirely possible to play this game full stealth. Like, if you fail a mission because you get seen, you could just reload. Like, those sorts of user challenges are actually pretty damn great, too. So, I don't know why there was very few guards there, but oh well, I'll just take this and run. So, that was a really quick look at a hard mode playthrough of Shinobido 2 Revenge of Zen. Trust me, normal is a lot easier than that. It's probably recommended that you play the game on normal just to get used to the jankiness and then start a new game on hard mode. But yeah, we can choose not to bring it to him and send it to someone else if we like, which is even better.
Ooh.
So yeah, look at all that. Look at all that. That's amazing. And I level up again, so I can get more range on my grappling hook, or I can just do more defense, which is probably what I'm going to do. And you get paid a ton of money, and yeah, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic game. And I even get, yeah, I just got a recipe too, so I can now make landmines that are almost completely invisible. So, I actually took out a document transport by lining the bridge with mines and blowing them all off the edge, and it was amazing. So, yeah, that was a quick look at Shinobido 2 Revenge of Zen. If you can get this game, if you see it like on sale somewhere at just in a secondhand box, or if you can import it via Amazon or PlayAsia or something, I would fully recommend that you do, because this game is great. This game is clunky as fuck, but absolutely fantastic for ninja politics simulator. I don't even care about the story. I play it mainly for the ninja stuff. Which is unfortunate, because I'm going to actually have to delete it, because it takes up too much room on my memory card. But thankfully I will be able to re-download it again, and so will anyone else who already bought it. This has been Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time.